The Jones family's long-simmering resentment has finally erupted, and there's no turning back this time. When Chrissy Lampkin lost it on Mama, the cameras were rolling. Jones in a moment that stunned the entire crew. A peaceful discussion on family loyalty soon turned into one of the most heated altercations ever captured on reality television. In a matter of seconds, the entire room descended into chaos as accusations flew and voices rose. According to people close to the production, Chrissy felt deceived and believed Mama Jones had been undermining her in private. Spent months in a romance with Jim, and Chrissy didn't hold back when the truth was eventually revealed. According to insiders, she got up, slammed her glass, and yelled things that everyone didn't understand. Unable to speak, Jim attempted to intervene, but he was unable to defuse the situation. This is where things become even more bizarre, though. Following the fight, Mama Jones allegedly made a startling decision that might ruin all Chrissy has spent years creating. Even though the video hasn't been shown yet, word is getting out quickly. What actually transpired between Mama and Chrissy Jones on that particular day? And is this the point at which the family is irreversibly split apart? The evening began peacefully, almost too peacefully. Lights were set, and cameras darkened, and another informal family meal scene was anticipated by the production. However, nobody could have foreseen how quickly things would go out of control. Chrissy entered, looking put together and self-assured, and obviously bearing the burden of something she had been suppressing for a while. Mama Jones was already seated, and although her tone was initially pleasant, there was a hint of anxiety. Only those who have experienced years of family strife might be able to identify. Chrissy sat down and hardly looked at him. The air was heavy. The enthusiasm was palpable. Change even before a single word was uttered. Mama Jones has been criticizing Chrissy's decisions, attitude, and relationship with Jim for years. Chrissy had always made an effort to stay courteous. She appeared to be a woman who had had enough of being polite tonight. The talk began modestly. Mama Jones mentioned how Jim appeared aloof, how things had changed recently, and how Chrissy's visits had decreased. "Maybe he's distant because he's tired of being in the middle, Mama," Chrissy replied, leaning forward and chuckling briefly in the manner that suggests, "You really want to go there?" Mama was a single word that carried a lot of love and suffering. Mama Jones arched an eyebrow, obviously annoyed. "I apologize. I am not an outsider. I am his mother. Don't approach me with that mindset." Chrissy remained unflinching. "And the one who has been keeping him down for all these years is me, his girlfriend." However, you never seemed to be satisfied with it. There was silence at the table. Behind the cameras, even the producers ceased whispering. Mama Jones shook her head and leaned back. "Do you believe that I'm the issue? You still don't have a ring after more than 10 years of playing house with my son. Before you blame me, perhaps take a look in the mirror." Chrissy was hurt hard by that line. She inhaled deeply, trying not to react, but her hands were shaking. "Do you know what's amusing? You pull him back to steps every time we move forward. You want him to always remain your little guy. You don't want him to mature and lead a normal life." The tone of Mama Jones became acute. "I want my son to be content, and he would have married you long ago if he truly wanted you that way. Don't put that on me." That was all, when Chrissy lost her temper. Everyone was startled as she slapped her hand on the table. "You are not allowed to discuss my connection in that manner. He has been under your control for years, yet he is too afraid to tell you to quit." When Jim's name was mentioned, Mama Jones lost all composure. "You have no right to include my son in this. That boy was reared by me. For him, I gave up everything. Do you really believe that you can enter and pretend that you know him better than I do?" Chrissy got to her feet. "I'm not sure. Him more effectively. I do because I was present when you weren't. Even though I witnessed him at his worst, I chose not to leave." Mama Jones also got up, her chair scuffing the floor. The floor. Now that the two women were facing each other, their words could be heard throughout the space. It was too late when Jim's cousin attempted to intervene. The dispute had become personal, unfiltered, and intensely sentimental. Unspoken animosity that had been building for years rose to the surface. "You've always looked down on me," Chrissy yelled as tears welled up in her eyes. "You've acted as like I'm some," Mama Jones retorted. "You act like a stranger trying to steal your son. You entered here with the intention of controlling the situation. My customs, my family, and you respect none of it." Chrissy gave a bitter laugh. "Reverence. I have never been respected by you. You've given me a call every I was told behind my back that I wasn't worthy of him. However, you know what? I was his choice, not you." The final statement struck a deep chord. Mama Jones's expression briefly froze before becoming icy. She responded softly, almost in a whisper, "You think you can replace me?" However, the words were powerful. With her eyes flaming, Chrissy stepped closer and said, "You'll never be his mother. Never. Perhaps it's time you stopped, even if I don't want to be pretending to be his spouse." Everything began with that line. With a gasp, Mama Jones pushed back her chair and prepared to go. Chrissy wasn't finished, though. With years of pain seeping out of her voice, she followed her. "You claim to be faithful, but since the beginning, you have worked to destroy our relationship. You give me a smile before rushing to him discussing how I'm taking advantage of him. Since you are," Mama Jones screamed. "Do you want the lifestyle, the fame, or the name? Girl, I can see right through you." Chrissy yelled back, "I desired him. That's all. However, that might be too much for you." Crew members attempted to intervene at that time, but both women pushed beyond them. The yelling descended into mayhem. A chair overturned, drinks spilled, and the production had to end the scene early. Jim wasn't even present. Unaware of the explosion taking place inside, he was outside talking on the phone. Everything froze when he entered. Chrissy was trembling and had angry eyes as she stood there. Mama Jones's hands were shaking, her cheeks flushed, and she was whispering to herself. Jim's voice was low but deadly serious as he glanced from one to the other. What on earth occurred here? Neither of the women responded. The damage was already done, and there was a dense quiet. Mama Jones stormed out after grabbing her pocketbook. "You deal with your little girlfriend. I'm done," Chrissy said, trying not to cry as she sat down again. "She hates me," she said. Jim rubbed his temples and moaned, "She's always hated me." "She doesn't hate you, Chrissy. She just doesn't know how to let go." Chrissy, however, didn't trust him. Her attitude changed from one of grief to one of resolve as she gazed at the door that Mama Jones had left. "No," she murmured. "She will no longer be in charge." Nobody realized at the time that Mama Jones wasn't finished either. She made a phone call that evening that would startle the whole family, a call that would reveal secrets no one anticipated. The fallout started the following morning. Whispers about a huge altercation that occurred during filming were already circulating on social media. Someone from a little audio clip had been leaked by production. A chair scraping the floor and Chrissy shrieking were audible. Fans were analyzing every sound within hours, attempting to determine what actually fell between Mama Jones and her. In the meantime, there was complete quiet inside Jim's home. Chrissy was shaking her head while perusing her phone while seated at the kitchen counter. Later, that things took an unexpected turn in the afternoon. Mama Jones made the decision to go live on Instagram, something she didn't often do unless she had a message to share. She was sitting on the couch with a glass of wine while wearing her trademark fur coat. Her voice was sharp but quiet. "I'm not one to bring family business to the internet," she said. "But let's discuss if people want to chat. I've been treated disrespectfully. I raised my son from nothing, gave him everything, and I'll be damned if I let some woman come in and rip us apart in my own face, in my own family, by someone who thinks she rules the show." The comment section erupted right once. Mama Jones was criticized by some for being controlling, but others supported her, arguing that she was merely being protective. "Respect goes both ways," one fan remarked. Another commented, "Chrissy has been writing for Jim since day one, but Mama Jones wasn't finished. And let me make this clear," she said, looking directly into the camera. "You're in for a treat if you believe you can enter a family and treat the mother disrespectfully. How long you've been here doesn't matter to me. Blood is blood." Blog posts such as "Mama Jones sends warning to Chrissy and Love and Hip Hop Family War Gets Messy" swamped every gossip page within minutes. Chrissy witnessed everything. The light on her phone would not go off. Breathing heavily, she slammed it down. She whispered, "She's doing this on purpose. She wants me to appear as the antagonist." Just as she was saying that, Jim entered. "Did you witness the live event?" Silently, he inquired. Chrissy gave a nod. "Yes, I did see it. The entire globe witnessed it." Jim let out a sigh. "Chrissy, she's hurt. You both made statements that you can't retract." Chrissy's voice twisted against him, shuddering. "No, Jim, she made statements. I stood up for myself. I've been suppressing it for far too long." Jim massaged the rear of his neck, his expression filled with frustration. I can't continue like this. It gets worse every time I try to make things right between you two. Chrissy softened a little. Jim, then give up attempting to fix it. Let her continue to be angry. I'm done trying to make her feel at ease by being cautious. Mama Jones went even farther that evening. Insiders claim that she called one of Jim's business associates, who was close to the pair, and began disclosing personal information about their relationship that was never supposed to be shared. She stated Jim's money has been under Chrissy's hands. She is making all the decisions and excluding family members from business transactions, according to one source. The gossip went viral. Suddenly, it wasn't simply a dispute inside the family. It was developing into a major controversy. Chrissy was furious when she learned. Now she's pulling me through the muck. Jim stared at her blankly as she told him, she's trying to ruin me. Chrissy shook her head and said, I'll talk to her. No, I'll speak with her directly. The following day, Chrissy was followed by cameras when she arrived at Mama Jones's home. The tension was evident even before she left the vehicle. She paused at the door, inhaled deeply, and then knocked. With a chilly expression, Mama Jones gently opened the door. It's you, I see. Chrissy remained calm. We must speak. For what reason did Mama Jones cross her arms? You've already expressed all you needed to say. Evening. Nevertheless, Chrissy went inside. No, please listen to me. Despite rolling her eyes, Mama Jones did not intervene. The air was quiet and dense, although for the sound of a wall clock ticking away at last, Chrissy spoke in a firm, although hushed voice. I don't want to fight. I'm here to let you know that I adore Jim and that I'm sick of being made to feel like the reason you no longer have a relationship with him. Mama Jones scoffed. The cause is you. Things have changed since you arrived. He used to give me daily calls. Used to frequently visit. I have to compete for his attention now. Because he's grown, Chrissy's voice cracked a little. He is no longer that young lad, Mama. You should be pleased that he's starting a life. Mama Jones turned her head away. You don't comprehend. You have no idea what it's like to raise a boy on your own. To witness his transformation into a man before a woman enters and assumes control. Chrissy grew softer. You're correct. Although I'm not familiar with that suffering, I do understand what it's like to love someone who is experiencing conflict. Mama Jones remained silent for a moment. Her face softened a little, although she remained vigilant due to pride. Chrissy moved in closer after she stated, You should have come to me with respect, not attitude. Respect is in both directions. I can't continue to love someone who is always attempting to harm me. Once more, the tension was high. Neither wanted to concede, but neither wanted to acknowledge the intensity of the suffering. Mama Jones turned away at last. Perhaps all we need is room. With tears in her eyes, Chrissy nodded. Perhaps we do. Chrissy was leaving the house. She was captured on camera wiping her face and muttering, I'm done fighting for peace. However, a fresh leak appeared on the internet just as things were about to calm down. Private video from the evening of their altercation. And it was more than just shouting this time. It captured the instant Chrissy surged forward, nearly striking Mama Jones in the face and knocking a glass off the table. Procedure. The blogs went crazy. Mama Jones ultimately had the upper hand as the network went into hysteria. The entire internet was operational by the following morning. Flames. Every major gossip blog, fan forum, and Twitter feed had seen the released video of Chrissy lunging toward Mama Jones. The trending hashtag was hashtag Chrissy vs Mother Jones. All over, the blogosphere didn't refrain. Chrissy Lampkin goes off on Jim Jones' mother. Violent family feud caught on camera was one of the headlines. Chrissy sat in silence in her apartment, her hands trembling a little as she read the comments from people she'd never met, her face pale as her phone lit up with constant notifications. Some were defending her, claiming Mama Jones had pushed her too far, while others were labeling her disrespectful, poisonous, and ungrateful. However, the damage was already done. It's bad, Jim muttered quietly as he entered the room and placed his phone on the counter. They're saying the network's reviewing the footage. Mona is not content. Chrissy did not raise her head. That's it. Now I'm the bad guy. Jim took a seat next to her. Chrissy, you know how this works. The truth doesn't matter on the internet. All they want is a tale. Chrissy's voice cracked. However, Jim, this is more than a tale. This is our family, your mother. How can we overcome this? Jim remained silent. He appeared worn out, like a man trapped between two flames that were blazing at both ends. I spoke with my mother. She's hurt, but she's also milking it, he finally remarked. Chrissy's head shot up when she mentioned that she was considering doing an interview with Tall. What? Yeah, sighed Jim. A network has already made contact. Chrissy got up and paced the floor, saying, they want her side of the story. Jim, she understands that she is attempting to destroy me. She knows they'll believe her because of what the internet is like, Jim said, rubbing his temples. She believes that you disregarded her in front of the world. She won't simply let that go, you know. Chrissy became frustrated instead of angry. I'm beyond having to make things right. I've made an effort to be the bigger person. She doesn't desire peace, despite my best efforts to show her respect. She desires authority. When the day of the sit-down arrived later that evening, the stress was intolerable. The set was intended to resemble a therapy session. A host is seated between two chairs that face each other in dim lighting. Chrissy Tom showed up first, although he was chilly. A few minutes later, Mama Jones came in, chin up, avoiding eye contact. The host didn't spend any time. Let's begin at the beginning, she said. This place is full of love, but it's also full of suffering. Why did Chrissy treat you so disrespectfully, Mama Jones? Mama Jones let out a loud sigh. It wasn't only that evening. It has been developing for many years. She doesn't know how to respect boundaries, despite my best efforts to love her. She always takes it personally when I say something. She attacked me that evening as if she had forgotten who I was. Chrissy tightened her jaw but said nothing. The host faced her. Your answer, Chrissy? Chrissy gave Mama Jones a direct look. I will always remember who you were. You've always had my regard. Respect, however, does not entail allowing someone to ignore you. You talk about limits, yet for years you've been going over mine. I adore Jim, but I'm sick of being viewed as an outsider. The host gave a nod. Between you two, there is a great deal of hurt. What about the video, though? What actually took place at that precise moment? Mama Jones jumped right in. She became enraged, began screaming, and nearly struck me. Chrissy cut in. That's not how you talk to your man's mother. Mama, I didn't hit you. I made no physical contact with you. When I got up, the glass collapsed. However, you've been telling everyone that I assaulted you. Mama Jones folded her arms. That's how it appeared. I'm not blind either. The room's tension was electrifying. At last, Jim got up from his seat off camera and entered the stage. Enough, he firmly declared. This needs to end. You both adore me. Mama Jones turned away, clearly showing signs of emotion for the first time. Then stop tearing each other apart. You're both right in your own ways, but you're both wrong too. Chrissy dried her eyes, saying, You don't understand, Jim. You're my only son. It feels like I'm losing you when I see her trying to take control. Jim sat between them, so please stop trying to compete. I need both of you. It feels like you're trying to erase me when you talk down to me. For the first time, Mama Jones spoke. Y'all, I can't keep living in this war zone. The host remained silent, allowing the intensity of the situation to linger. Maybe I was too hard on you. I just don't trust Eiley and I don't like feeling replaced, she said, softening her voice as she turned to face Chrissy. Chrissy inhaled deeply. I'm not the enemy, but you're not replaced. You're his mother. You will always be. After what seemed like a lifetime of silence, Mama Jones nodded slowly. All right, I just want peace. The cameras continued to roll as the two women shared a brief awkward moment. Maybe we can start fresh. It wasn't a complete reconciliation, but it was something. Hug that conveys the message. We're trying, but we're not there yet. The program shattered viewing records when it aired weeks later, and fans flooded social media with emotional responses. Some wept as they witnessed the conflict transform into a precarious moment of understanding, while others continued to take sides, but one thing was evident. After the incident, Chrissy went silent on social media for a while and concentrated on her family. The world had just watched a raw, real piece of family pain that extended far beyond television, business endeavors, and took a break from the spotlight. Surprisingly, Mama Jones also withdrew from interviews, stating that she needed time to recover. During an Instagram Live, Jim, caught in the midst, said to supporters, "Family ain't flawless. At the end of the day, we love each other despite our arguments and fights. That's what counts." Nevertheless, insiders claim that Chrissy and Mama Jones' relationship is still unstable. There is still gap between them, but they do occasionally converse. A cautious equilibrium between pride and tranquility. The world will never forget, though, that night Chrissy Lampkin eventually confronted Mama Jones and made everyone see the reality of what actually occurs. The reality is that family drama never really goes away behind closed doors. It simply hides behind silent chambers and fake grins until it explodes once more. Mama Jones and Chrissy Lampkin offered the world a close-up look at something unvarnished, poignant, and agonizingly real. You can't dispute one thing, regardless of whether you support Mama Jones or Chrissy. Both women are strong, passionate, and committed to defending Jim in their own unique ways, even if it means tearing them apart. Separate. However, this tale may not be over yet. Tensions are still simmering behind the scenes, according to people close to the family. New disputes, new secrets, and every day, fresh limits are put to the test. The true question is whether this period of tranquility will survive or if another eruption is imminent. In the world of hip-hop and love, one thing is for sure: calm is short-lived. If you wish to be informed about what occurs next between Mama Jones, Jim, and Chrissy, keep your eyes open since the upcoming chapter could fall at any time. The chapter might drop at any time.